The night shift bus driver had been on the same route for almost 6 years. Same roads, same stops, same half-asleep faces drifting on and off between midnight and dawn. The route cut through long stretches of rural highway between two small towns, the kind of road where the headlights barely felt strong enough and the darkness pressed in from every direction. That was why he noticed the man so quickly. It was just after 12:30 a.m. when the bus pulled away from the depot with only 3 passengers on board. 2 college kids asleep in the back, and 1 man who climbed on at the last stop before the highway. The driver remembered it clearly because the man didn't scan a ticket. The driver waited for the beep. It never came. "Ticket?" he asked, glancing up in the mirror. The man didn't respond. He walked past the fare box without a word and sat directly behind the driver, in the first seat on the right, close enough that the driver could see his reflection in the overhead mirror. Mid-30s, dark jacket, hands folded in his lap. Calm. Almost too calm. The driver considered stopping the bus, but something about the man's posture made him hesitate. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't acting drunk. He just sat there, staring forward, like he already knew the route. The bus pulled back onto the highway. At the next stop, one of the college kids got off. The driver glanced back instinctively. The man was still there, still sitting behind him, still silent. 10 minutes later, the second kid rang the bell and stepped off into the darkness. Now it was just the driver and the man. That was when the driver realized something felt wrong. He couldn't hear breathing. The bus was loud, engine humming, tires hissing against asphalt, but there should have been something. A shift of fabric, a cough, anything. The man sat perfectly still. His reflection in the mirror didn't blink. "Sir?" the driver said, keeping his eyes forward. No answer. The road narrowed as the bus entered the most isolated stretch of the route. Forest on both sides. No lights. No cell service. The kind of place dispatch warned drivers about if they ever had to stop unexpectedly. The driver reached up and adjusted the mirror. The seat behind him was empty. He almost swerved. He was sure the man had been there seconds ago. Heart pounding, he slowed slightly and checked again. Empty seat. No footsteps. No sound of someone moving toward the back. Then he heard it. A soft knock. Not from inside the bus. From the rear door. 3 slow taps, metal on metal. The driver's stomach dropped. The bus was doing 60 miles an hour. Another knock. Louder this time. Followed by something worse. The sound of fingers dragging along the side of the bus, keeping pace with it. He pressed the accelerator without thinking. The bus lurched forward. In the mirror, he saw movement outside. A shape running alongside the bus in the dark, impossibly fast. Keeping up without headlights. Without making a sound. The radio crackled. At first, it was just static. Then a voice cut through. "You missed my stop." The driver nearly lost control of the wheel. The voice was calm, close, coming from directly behind him. He didn't turn around. "You didn't buy a ticket," the driver managed to say, his voice shaking. You were never cleared to be on this route." Silence. Then the voice spoke again, closer than before. "I was already here." The interior lights flickered. The bus slowed, no matter how hard the driver pressed the pedal. The knock on the back door stopped. In the mirror, the seat behind him was no longer empty. The man was there again, but his face was wrong. His mouth stretched too wide, lips pulled back as if smiling around something that didn't fit. His eyes reflected nothing. No fear, no anger, just patience. The driver slammed the brakes. The bus screeched to a stop in the middle of the highway. The doors flew open. Cold air rushed in. The man stood, finally moving for the first time, and stepped past the driver without a word. As he exited, the driver noticed something that made his blood run cold. The man didn't touch the ground. The doors closed. The engine roared back to life. The driver sat there shaking until dispatch answered his call. Police searched the route later that night. They found no footprints, no signs of anyone running alongside the bus. When they checked the onboard cameras, the footage showed the driver speaking to someone who wasn't there. The seat behind him remained empty the entire time, except for one thing. At exactly 12:47 a.m., the audio picked up 3 slow knocks. From inside the bus,